Okay, so today we're gonna see how cookies can be used as a security hack against a site. Now, first thing, what is a cookie? Let's just have a definition of cookie from Wikipedia. Here you go. A cookie is a cookie is used for an origin website to send state information to a user's browser and for the browser to return the state information to the origin site. Now, why is this useful? This is useful because the state information can be used for authentication, identification, user session, and user preferences. Now, this information need not be sent every time a user has to go to the site. Instead, it can be stored in a cookie, and this can be sent automatically by a browser every time a user visits the site. How will this create a problem for us? Now, first let's see how the cookies are stored. Now, since our aim is to secure securityresearch.in, let's go to the site. Now, let me log in as the admin. Alright, so I've logged in. Now, let me see if there are any cookies. This is Google Chrome. In Google Chrome, I can go to Options, under the hood, Content Settings, All Cookies and Site Data, and I can search for any cookies stored by securityresearch.in. Now here, there are totally 11 cookies stored by this. Something for a PHP session ID, UTMA, UTMB, UTMC, UTMZ, WordPress 64, F27, whatever. Now here I can see the name and the values stored in the cookie for any such cookie. For example, this one says that the cookie name is WordPress logged in blah blah blah, and then this is the content in it. Obviously this cannot be decoded by us. It does look quite complicated. It's been encrypted. Okay, now how can this actually be used against us? Let us look at another example where this can be used. Now in Mozilla there is a plugin called Tamper Data. All of you can install it. Here we go, Tamper Data. Now using this plugin I can actually modify any data sent by my browser to a site. Now first I start the tampering, and then I can go to any site like this one. Here I can actually tamper, and then this will show me the request sent by the browser to the site. Now if I can actually decode what's there in the cookies that I'm able to see here, now I can decode the same and put it here and do whatever I want. I can send whatever information I want to send to the site. This way it'll let me access anything I want, provided I'm able to decode and send whatever that needs to be sent. Now how can a person actually use this? Okay, let's stop this. Let's close Mozilla. Uh, One can always use Wireshark or other packet capturing softwares that can show the requests sent by a user through a network. Let's say if it is a broadcast network or if it is going through a router, one can just capture all the packets and see what are all the requests or the data sent through that router or in that network. Now then that will allow that person to look in to the data and then use it to his or her advantage. Now so the first thing that we are going to do is make sure that that data which is sent is secure. In order to do that, we need to force using SSL. Now SSL is one way to make sure the information that is transferred is session based and it's secure and cannot be encrypted by anyone else other than the browser that is using this. In order to do that, we need to open the wp-config in the Let's go to the website dump. Just here you go. Now here I need to define two things. I need to make sure I force SSL admin and SSL login. Could use something like this. Define force underscore SSL underscore login, comma true, and define force underscore SSL underscore admin true. This way, all the login and admin sessions are through SSL, which means they cannot be used by another person sitting behind a router or capturing our packets, because this is sent through SSL, which is secure. Now, the second thing that we can do is to check where all the cookies are actually set. Now, let's look at a sample file for this. So let's just look at a file called wp-pass where the setCookie function is used. Uh, well, here it is, setCookie. Now, one thing is that setCookie can be used in many files used by WordPress. In many of the PHPs, this is just one such PHP, that is wp-pass.php. Now, what we see here is this cookie is the name of this cookie is wp-post-pass.cookie-hash, and this is the value that is stored. And then this here that you see, time plus 864,000, is the time in seconds for the expiry of the cookie. Now, one thing here, there are two more parameters that can be given to the setCookie function, which will make sure that we use SSL and https.so. Now those two, I can just make it true here. This true would stand for using an SSL to set this cookie, and this true would stand to use HTTPS. The advantage here is that not only setting a cookie is important, every time a cookie is sent, a hacker can always use Wireshark or other software to capture these packets and use them against us. So even at times when a cookie is not being set, we need to make sure all other cookie-based transactions happen using SSL and HTTPS, which is why we add these two parameters true. Of course, this would cost the server, that is the web server, to do a little more work by always having to encrypt things, but then this would result in a little more security. This is always left to the choice of the user. By user, I mean the admin of the WordPress site, that is security research site. In our case, we need to give a preference whether we need security or performance here.